You need flour. I'd say about 3.5 to 4 cups. I don't really measure, I just pour until I feel it's right. I'm using whole wheat flour because that's all I have right now. Honey. Warm water, a little bit warmer than warm. Mix it and then let it sit till it foams. So give her a good mix. Go back to your flour and add some salt, just as much as you like, but don't overdo it. Once your yeast looks like this, you're ready for the next step. It's like foamy, very foamy. Now you add 1/2 cup of oil. And about 1.5 cups of water to your yeast and water mix. Just remember the water has to be warm, not quite hot, but like pretty close to it, or else it's not going to work. If you haven't already, make a well in your flour and salt mixture and add in your wet ingredients. Now this, you want to mix it very, very well. And once it's mixed, then we get to kneading. Now, you're going to want your dough to not be sticky, so you may need more flour, so keep flour close to you and just add and mix until it forms a dough and it isn't super sticky. Back a bit. So as you can see now, it looks more like a big thing of dough, but you can see it's still kind of sticky. So I'm just going to add a little bit more flour so it's not sticky and mix it some more. Just keep kneading it now for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. You really want to play with it. The more you play with it, the better it's going to be. Once you're done kneading, you should get a ball of dough that looks like this. Kind of roll it into a ball and just set it aside for a second. Now you want to take the pot or the bowl that you mixed your dough in and get it nice and greasy. I use a pot because it's easier to proof it in. You could put it on the stove where it's hot, or in the stove, in the oven, and it proofs quicker. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on my dough also and plop her in there and cover it till it rises. Now if you use quick rise yeast, you only have to proof it once, but if you use traditional, you have to do it a couple times. Just like this, get it all nice in there. You just want to get it oily so it doesn't stick.
Now we wait till it rises.
A few moments later.
I'm peeking at the dough, and as you can see, it's getting bigger, but it's not quite ready, so cover it again.
2,000 years later.
So now, as you can see, the dough has risen quite a bit, and it's ready to be fried or baked or whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to make some Bannock, some fried Bannock, so we can have Bannock burgers.
Woohoo!
So you're going to want to push the dough down, and as you can see, it goes down. And then, oil the area and roll it out. And don't forget to get your oil ready. I don't use much. Try and use the least amount possible so that my oil lasts. I'd say about right there. Now I'm just greasing the table I'm going to use to put my dough on just so it don't stick to my table. I just rip pieces of dough off, like about this big, and I just shape them into the shape. We're gonna have Bannock burgers, so I'd say like that. I don't put holes in my dough to fry it. I just fry it without a hole. You don't have to put a hole. I think it fries better without the holes. And I'll do that over until I have enough.
Bannock burgers.
So now that you see I have some dough laying out, you're going to want to let it sit for a few minutes just to let it rise a little bit. The more you let it rise, the thicker your Bannock breads will be. And then you can just continue to make more while they rise. Now my dough has risen for about like 5-ish minutes, maybe a little bit longer, like 10. And it's ready to fry. Now you throw it in your oil and you let it fry. Once you notice it starts to get brown around the sides, you flip it over. A quick trick that I was shown by my aunt, and some people may not want to do this because it is kind of dangerous because water drops in the oil and makes a bubble. But I put the lid on. I put the lid on for a few minutes just to like kind of hear it sizzling, and then I'll pull it off. So now as you can see, I removed the lid and it's fluffed up quite a lot and it's kind of going brown around the edges, but you can't quite tell because I used whole wheat flour. So it's ready to be flipped. I guess you can kind of see.
See now, yeah.
And this is how it looks after you flip it. Yeast dough cooks fairly fast once it gets going, so make sure you're prepared. Okay, so now as you can see, I have a big pile of Bannock and I'm almost done. And I just wanted to explain how cost effective this is right now, because this cost me $3.95 to make, and I got over 16 Bannocks, probably about 30. And it cost about $5 just for a 12-pack of burger buns. So you're going to save yourself a ton of money and enjoy some great bread or Bannock. And remember, you can make bread. You could probably get like 2 loaves, I'm thinking, and probably about 24 buns that you make in the oven. And if you'd like to see me make either of those, let me know.